Most of what you've been told about wellness, success, and self improvement is wrong. Let's unlearn the biggest lies that are keeping you stuck. Hi, guys! So, this is a slightly different angle. I am a little bit struggling right now with some spring cleaning going around the house, so I can't be on my usual setup. So, right now we have a little bit of an odd angle, but nothing's stopping us, so we're still recording anyway. So today I wanted to bring the biggest misconceptions and the biggest lies that people have been telling to anyone and everyone throughout the years when it comes to self improvement, because I feel like these are really, really important and they go around being thrown everywhere in all kinds of different quotes. So I think it's time for us to bust some myths and stop these lies. So let's get started. Number one, you need motivation to be successful. Nope. What you need is discipline and consistency. One of the big issues with that type of phrasing is it makes you stuck in this idea that if you don't feel good, you're not going to be able to do anything. And the reality here is that discipline and consistency are going to be the two things that are actually going to drive you to continue doing what you want to do. You could have as much motivation as you humanly can when you start off, and then 9 times out of 10, it completely fizzles out by the fourth and fifth time you're going to do it. One big example that we see with this is going to the gym. A lot of people start in the beginning of the year with very much the motivation of, I want to get healthy. But then within a month or two, they start to slack off. They say they want to go every day and then stop. There's so many different things. When in reality, what you need is to create a plan to allow yourself to be more and more consistent as you go and make sure that it's a doable plan that will give you the discipline to keep going. Number two, more is always better. That's untrue. Sustainability is going to be the thing that is going to keep you going. A lot of people like to add multiple steps to their morning routine, and that just does not work in the long run. So, one big example of that is when I see people with these morning routines that, if you actually do the calculation, it takes them 2 hours to do. That is an unrealistic, unattainable thing for the average person that does a 9 to 5 job and has kids and has other things that they need to do. Unlike a social media influencer that pretty much only does that every single day and records it for you to see. What you need to do is create sustainable balance that allows you to reach what you want to reach, not more things, because that's going to overcomplicate whatever you're trying to do. Number three, if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. That is wrong. There should be consistency over perfection. The reality here is that progress is going to be more important than being able to do it perfectly at the first time or even the second time. A very big example of that is with diets in particular. So, when it comes to diets, a lot of people have this idea of I'll start on the first of the month or I'll start on a Monday. And then that day arrives and you either had a shitty day or you didn't feel good and you just let it all fall to the ground. When in reality, if you had kept up and been kinder to yourself and actually created a progress where you just simply took the steps to get better as you went, aka progress over perfection, you'd still be much further away than if you were waiting for the perfect day. Number four, self-care is selfish. The reality here is that a lot of people have this idea that it's selfish to take care of oneself, when in reality is the most selfless thing that we can do. If we are unwell and we don't focus on ourselves in some sort of capacity, our cup is going to run dry and we're not going to be able to help anybody because we'll have nothing to give. So, by taking care of yourself and giving yourself the time to either think or rest or recuperate or even have some me time, that will give you enough for you to go ahead and give back to others and take care of others the way that they deserve and the way that you want to do it. Number five, you have to wait for the right time. That is wrong. There's never a good or right time to do anything. There's only now. The reality here is that a lot of people seem to be either scared or concerned of just going on this constant loop of like, when is the right time to start? When is the right time to say it? We see that in all kinds of facets, from relationships to jobs to school to anything that you absolutely do. A lot of people have this idea of like, oh, I'll tell you when it's the right time, or I'll open my mouth and say it later, or the later never really comes. You just stay on this loop of waiting for the right time when there's no right time. The reality here is that regardless of the situation, there's never a right time to say anything. People can be shocked, surprised, happy, or sad, regardless of what you say and when you say it. Of course, there are certain things that do have a right time and place. You're not going to give a happy news to someone that right now is depressed. You might wait a couple hours or a week, but there's a difference in between being aware of a situation and just not doing something because it's not the right time. If you want to do something that you know that it will improve your life and it does not affect anyone else's, just do it. Your time is now. Number 6, resting is equal to being lazy. That is so wrong. I especially hear this when it comes to medical students or anyone in a harder field when they're starting to come up. There's some sort of just way of thinking that if you just take time to rest, or when you're mentally not okay or you're feeling burned out, there's this idea that you're just being lazy. I'm not being lazy. I am taking the time to recuperate and rest so that I don't lead myself into a depression or even a burnout or an anxiety, because I don't deserve to have to put myself in a state of stress just for the sake of not taking a proper rest. Sleeping 8 hours and taking time for yourself does not affect in any way, shape, or form. And it does not make you a better person if you turn to me and you say that you only sleep 4 hours. You are not a better person just because of that. To be honest, I find you kind of dumb and stupid because my brain is still working fine and yours is having hallucinations throughout the day and you're running your life on caffeine. So, my advice: sleep 8 hours, take a time for yourself from time to time, and disconnect when you feel the need or you're starting to have symptoms of burnout. 7, failure means that you should quit. That is wrong. Quitting, that is failing. The way that I see the idea of quitting and failing, they kind of go hand in hand. I don't believe anyone has failed until they actually quit. The way that I see it is that failure is a chance of learning, is a chance of reevaluation, of figuring out what went well and what went wrong, trying to do the pros and the cons of every situation and see what could be improved. An actual failure for me is when I actually quit, when I crossed my arms and said no more, when I just turned to someone and I said, I'm not trying this, I'm not showing up for this, I'm not doing any of this. In that case, then yes, I am failing because I have absolutely just quit in whatever goal I set out for myself. And that is not anything that you should do. If you are fighting a battle for whatever reason it is, and you find yourself losing said battle, stop, think, and reevaluate. Once you have done your reevaluation, I'm pretty sure you're going to see the gaps of your thoughts, your plans, or your needs, and you can change those. Once you change those, you're back on the battle. All you did is that you just took a break and you kept going. Number 8, you need to have it all figured out. That is so wrong. Growth is one of the biggest parts when it comes to actually doing what you wish to do and doing what you dream to do. I did not know what I was doing when I was studying for biology and chemistry of secondary school and high school and trying to get myself into college. To this day, I still feel a little bit lacking in comparison with my colleagues that had to study those things for 2 to 3 years. I know that I need to take much longer than them to understand certain things. But at the same time, I am catching up. I am following the grades. I am understanding everything. So the only thing that it means for me is that I know that I am able to do as well as anyone else if I put my mind and thought into it. And that means that I did not went prepared. I did not know what I was going to learn. I did not know what I was going to encounter or if I was going to have good colleagues or bad colleagues. I did not had it all figured out. And you don't have to have anything all figured out. You can start with your plan really nice and small, and then something could happen that shifts your plans in a completely different direction. What you need to understand is that regardless of what happens to you, you can still keep going and keep fighting for whatever you want, and that will give you 10 times the amount of growth than trying to figure it all out before you even start. Number 9, happiness will come once you reach your goal. Not always. 9 times out of 10, you get the happiness from the progress of actually doing it, not once you reach there. A very big example of that is for people that have lost a lot of weight and they did it in a very toxic mentality. They will lose said weight. They will look in the mirror and they will hate themselves because they will not look at the person that they thought that if they saw that, if they reached that, if they attained that, they will not see it as like, yes, I am now happy. 9 times out of 10, there's so many more issues involved. And regardless of the situation, I gave weight loss as an example because that's a very palpable, very feeling sensation. But there's so many examples that I could throw out there that once you reach it, it may not even feel like you achieved it because there was something within the progress that was either toxic or downgrading or it made you feel bad, that it just completely destroyed whatever feeling of happiness that you could have had if you just simply focused on improving every little aspect as you progressed towards your goal. Number 10, you have to do it alone. That is so wrong. Humans are social creatures. We thrive in socialization. We all know that the longer you stay alone, the longer that you feel lonely, the worse it is. And you can feel lonely in a full room. What we need is full connection. When you have a community or support system, people that you can talk to and discuss the similar ideas that you have, people that are growing with you, people that are supporting you, believe it or not, it makes it easier. It makes it easier to have a partner, to have a pal, to have a community, a friend, a family, someone that will look you in the eyes and tell you like it is and support you all the way through. And there's so many examples that we can see that people that are trying to lose weight together, people that are trying to build businesses, people that are trying to build families, people that are trying to get support for addictions or health issues or anything like that. They will feel so much more comfortable when they know that someone is there, someone is listening to them. And that's why I also created this podcast, is my ability to bring out topics and allow you guys to come to me, to DM me, to comment, and allow me to be a support system for you guys if you wish to. My doors are fully open. The beliefs that we hold, they hold shape. They hold shape in our lives, they hold shape in what we do on the daily basis. But now we have gone through 10 beliefs that we can have when it comes to anything in our lives. And now you have the tools to be able to actually make a difference and change. So I want you to let me know in the comments or in DMs, what are you letting go today? What are you dropping out of your life? What is the belief that you're releasing out of your life? Like up and away with it. Let it go. Let go of one thing that you know that is holding you back, whether it be a thought or an idea, or even one of the ones that I told you, one that really resonated with you. Which one are you letting go? And let me know. You can comment, you can DM, or you can save it for yourself. That is up to you. Regardless of anything, I am here to support you if you wish to. You can DM or comment. I am fully open to responding, and I'll be more than happy to do so. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a nice, short, and sweet one. And I hope you have an awesome, amazing day. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.